What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. And today we will be reviewing Joseline's Cabaret, Las Vegas, the reunion part 1. Um, Before we get into the review, I ask that you all like, subscribe, and comment. And today we have a lot to talk about with this reunion part 1. This was a highly anticipated reunion on Zeus Network. So without further ado, let's get into it. So first things first, we start off with the intro. This one is Jocelyn performing a live performance. You know how she does it on every reunion. She wants to, perform. But she's performing Vegas on the reunion stage. Um, And one thing I noticed, I now don't come for me if this is like quote unquote common knowledge because I personally have not been following all the drama and stuff off screen, because it's just been too much. Like all the lives and all that, the live streams. I just can't keep up with every who all has beef and who got kicked out of the cabaret and stuff like that. But, I noticed that Lexi, Riri, and K Capri aren't on stage with Jocelyn. And, those were like her final girls like in the performance. But I guess, and that's another thing, they ended up not even touring with her in Miami because Jocelyn has been apparently touring in Miami, doing shows there, and I guess the girls that were on stage with her in this reunion part 1 in the performance, I guess those are the girls she took on tour with her. And, I just I thought that all the final girls were touring with her, but like I said, I haven't been keeping up with any of this off-screen drama and stuff. But what I do notice, the girls on stage, they're Black Diamond, Raven, Lollipop, and Jordan. So, I mean, those are some of her final girls, anyways. But, it was just weird. I don't know. The vibe was all off, first of all, with this entire reunion part 1, anyways. And I'll get into that. I'll get more into that in my final thoughts. So after Jocelyn's intro performance, we basically see all the girls arriving to set. And one thing I noticed is that Diamond and Raven were wearing ski masks, which also K Capri was, but that's been her thing like ever since the beginning of this season, since the trailer aired for this entire season. I noticed that was her thing. So I don't know if that was a shot at her or what, but apparently Jocelyn told them to wear the ski mask. So I don't know. But of course we start cutting to all the dressing rooms and girls are getting hair, makeup done. Um but one thing I noticed, Lexi was, of course getting her hair done, and she says, she needs to address K Capri bringing up her kids. And I kind of do remember that live. Like, I haven't had time to watch every single live that happened before this reunion, but I kind of remember that vividly. Like, K Capri talking about her kids or whatever on live, and they had that whole argument on live too, which, that I don't know. It's the whole going live stuff is it's a lot to keep up with. And to be honest, a lot of these beefs are a lot to keep up with on these shows. Because even with like One More Chance, when was watching that, I was like, where did all these beefs come from? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was a lot. then it comes back to K Capri and she's like, "Oh, everyone wants to come for me, da 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 da." You know, final thoughts. One thing Wet Wet says, she calls Kate Capri an animal. Basically, she's like a wild animal is on the loose. She's in there with Gaia and Jordan. I think this is like more of the chill room. People who really don't got a whole lot of beef. And all the other rooms, of course, were all the girls who had like a lot of beef leading up to this reunion. You know. Then I noticed K Capri says, she's been catching a lot of heat because of her girlfriend, which that's another situation I can't follow. Like, if anybody can like briefly explain what this situation is in the comments, please let me know. I just know it was something with her girlfriend. I just can't keep up with these situations. Honestly, I just know it was something dealing with her girlfriend or whatever. Like, please let me know in the comments if you can briefly update me on this situation because I really don't know. Like, I guess part of it is I just really didn't care to go out of my way to try and find out what it was, but So then it cuts to Lollipop, Diamond, and Raven's room where they're getting ready, of course. And, they're talking about the tour in Miami. Basically Diamond says she just came there to fight or whatever, which but basically, you know how these reunions work. It's a lot of back and forth, in the part one of like the dressing rooms and so, it's going back and forth between the rooms and basically we Ben knew Lollipop and K Capri want to fight. That's just common knowledge because that's all. Listen, K Capri has been at this candy on a stick thing on her lives for a very long time. So we Ben knew they wanted to fight and they did. So, but not before the reunion started, of course. But we'll get into that. But in the midst of all of this, one thing that happens is Raven's like, I just want my $40 back from K Capri. And then Lollipop, basically she gets a little like I don't know what this situation was, but I noticed Lollipop like she got really heated about it. Like she was like, she's like, it was all because you wanted to be friends with her, and I should have popped you for that, And I'm like, this is your buddy. This is your buddy talking to you like this. I'm sorry, but if anybody talked to me like that, we there would have been a fight in that dressing room. Okay, I don't know. I don't know. That was a lot of energy for somebody who's supposed to be your buddy, but whatever. So then Henny brings up that Diamond had a lot to say about like what she does because apparently there was like Diamond was, putting a question out there, does Henny strip or does she prostitute herself? And I mean, I had no idea about this situation, but here's the thing. When it comes to those situations, I'm very much aware that a lot of these girls do that kind of stuff on the low. So, and a lot of people are aware of that stuff. So it's like I don't know I don't know what you get out of trying to expose people when you're on this show. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I'm not even trying to shit. I'm not even trying to like. I'm not trying to like degrade them by any means, but on this show, we know that there are a lot of individuals on this show who have a track record for being in sex work. So I don't understand what others on the show get out of trying to expose someone for that. Cause I'm like, do you not realize what show you're on? A lot of women on this show do that stuff. So it's I don't know why you feel like that's such a thing to expose people for who are on this show. But I don't know. So then Diamond and Raven, they're basically like, oh, we're gonna tag team people, which we already knew, but if that's what you're gonna call it, I guess we've been new, but what I call it is jumping. But whatever. I guess they want to call that tag teaming, but it was jumping. It was jumping. That's what it was. So then it goes back to where Amber is, and they ask her like, "Is there anything you want to address at the reunion? Anybody who you want to address?" And Amber's like, "Well, I want to address everyone first of all." And I'm like, "Okay." And she's like, I want to address people damaging my dress and stealing my lingerie, which I don't think that's necessarily what she wanted to address. Unless she found out who did it, I don't know. But I don't know if she found out who did it, honestly. But I don't know. That's what she says she wants to address. Another thing we know is she wants to address Jocelyn for saying the N word. We'll get into that in final thoughts, but we been knew she wanted to address that, but so then it goes back to where K Capri and Riri are getting ready at, and K Capri asked Riri, how do you feel about not being taken on tour, and basically they were like, they both agreed like, yeah, even I agree, like Riri should have been taken on tour. But Riri basically was like, "Well, I already had a platform before this show, so I mean, it really didn't hurt anything for me, which good, I mean, I mean, at the end of the day, like some of these people that go on these shows already, like that go on like One More Chance and Jocelyn's show, they already had platforms prior to that. So it's like, okay, cool. You're broadening your horizons doing that. Like, I ain't even mad at you. So then going back into the whole N-word situation, it goes back to Diamond and Lollipop and Raven's room. And Diamond, one thing I noticed that was interesting, Diamond said that apparently after like a month after, after she and Amber got into that fight over the N word, she was Amber was hanging out with her, which well, I'll save that for my final thoughts, but that I thought that was interesting. Like, let me know what you thought about that in the comments below. It definitely was interesting. So then it goes back to like Miss Wet Wet, Gaia, and Jordan's room. The chill room. Because I feel like these are the girls who really have like almost no animosity towards all the other girls, you know. But, you know, the one thing Wet Wet is like, I want to address, Henny's going live and saying that she would purge me if there was a purge, which I remember that live. I was like, ooh, I don't know why you would say that. But yeah, I remember that live. So then it goes back to the touring girls' room, and apparently Diamond and Raven are like Riri is racist, and I don't know where they got that from. Personally, I don't know where they got that from, but they were like, "Oh, she only has black workers and this and that," and I'm like, "But how is that racist?" And I doubt it's just black people working for her. Like, but how is that racist? I don't get where this is racist. It was just weird to me how they tried to, turn around and be like, well, actually, Riri is the racist. Huh? What do you mean Riri's racist? Like we gotta have better facts than this before throwing that racist word out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, so then Henny's talking. Basically, she says she feels like Jocelyn disrespected her, which Henny is not the only one who's been disrespected by Jocelyn. Let's put that out there. Okay. All of them get disrespected by her. Um so then after that, of course, we have the host the host meetup, or whatever in I think it was Brittany who was getting yeah, it was Brittany who was getting ready, and Janisha goes into Brittany's, dressing room, while she's getting her makeup, and she's talking to her about the reunion stuff, and she's like, oh well, are you nervous, like, are you kind of anxious about this? And me personally, I'm just like, y'all I don't know. I don't know about y'all, but I got anxious watching this reunion part one as it is. Like, I feel like there was an overall bad vibe surrounding this first episode. And I don't know if it's just because of all the drama that happened prior to it, but it was just all around bad vibes I felt from the very start of this episode. So I don't know if I'm gonna have to burn some sage or something after watching this episode, but I just felt bad vibes all around with this episode. It was just bad. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. But then we get another Jocelyn performance. Another Jocelyn performance. Okay, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I skipped through this performance. I skipped this performance. I just didn't feel like there was a need for two performances. Like, yeah, I get it, the intro, but then you perform this other song, and mind you, I don't know. I wasn't with it. I wasn't with this song. She performed this second song. I just wasn't with it. So, anyways, I skipped the performance. Then the reunion actually starts, and of course, we got introducing all the girls to the stage. And honestly, the introductions were so awkward. Like, you could feel the tension through the screen, And like I said, you were feeling bad vibe. I was feeling bad vibes this entire episode, but once they got on that stage, I just felt all of the tension, and I wasn't even there. I felt all of that tension. I was like, "Oh, this is awkward." you know, I'm just the entire time I'm just like, and so it gets to the point where after the introductions, Brittany is like, "Well, it seems really tense up here," and I'm like, "You can cut this tension with a chainsaw, okay?" Me as a viewer, I felt that tension. And it's not very often that I can say I can feel the tension through the screen with these kind of things. But I felt it. So, she's like, "Well, how is everyone feeling? Like, what did y'all come here for?" And basically then K Capri is like, "Well, there's been a lot of talking on the internet." And then here comes Lollipop. She's like, excuse me. Lollipop. That was not intentional, I promise. Lollipop, she's like, "Well, that's been all you." And then K Capri, of course, gets up and then walks towards her, and that's when they start fighting. And I guess in the middle of that, Diamond and Raven, they start their jumping stuff. And then that's when I noticed Amber and Henny get up and they get involved in it. I guess that was Henny also involved, but yeah, they get up. That's when they got up and got involved. And it's basically like they were saying the reunion was like, a lot of Diamond and Raven jumping people and security not letting people get to them. I kind of saw that. I'm like, this doesn't look good. This does not look good, y'all. It really does not look good, y'all. Like it really does not look good. So I didn't take any notes on a sneak peek, but because basically this sneak peek, it there was a lot going on in the sneak peek, like probably too much going on. And but honestly, I can say I'm seeing a lot of the things that they were saying about the reunion, like that Lexi, that Amber, all of them were saying about the reunion. I'm seeing those things, and I'm just like, well, it looks like y'all got what y'all wanted to see for the most part. I mean, um, I saw um I saw we saw of course, Amber's kind of squaring up with Jocelyn, and then the other girls wanted to jump up, of course, when she did that. And, they kind of showed somewhat the ballistic situation. So I don't know if the next part might be the last part though. It might be. I feel like the next part might be the last part because I feel like the reunion probably just like I don't know. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong. It might not be till the third part that it really starts to go down. I don't know. But I don't know. I feel like I don't know. It's the editing with this though. There was a lot of stuff they could have gone without showing. Well, hence every Zeus episode, I'm kind of over it. Not gonna lie, but but I don't know. I feel like this episode was just really, really dragged out. Like we could have cut some minutes off of that whole dressing room thing. I really don't. I think that really dragged the episode down personally. You know, they like let's be real. They didn't even get that much footage to like even. Let's be real. This reunion probably would have been only one part, one or two parts, had they, you know, if they would edit it properly. But yeah. As far as like all the beef and drama and all that stuff, I can't keep up. Like I really can't keep up with all that. Like I can only keep up with only so many lives. I feel like at this point because they've been going live every single day since the very first trailer dropped for this season. And I'm just like, I don't know how y'all can be on top of all this drama, but it. Whew. Now, one thing I will say though, this whole reunion thing overall, regarding the whole drama with Amber and it's a couple of things involved. It's quite a few things involved with Amber, but I'm gonna talk about the N word thing first. So apparently Diamond mentions that Amber was hanging out with her a month later after they fought. Um, to be honest with you, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I can kind of see it. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong by any means, but I could kind of see it because Amber has done a lot of weird stuff regarding that situation. Like for one, the biggest thing was her the thing where Jocelyn turned around and said it's her. So it's like, you're not even gonna defend yourself. It, but now all of a sudden you come to this reunion wanting to act out. You know what I'm saying? It's really weird to me. I don't know. So that's why I said I could kind of see that happening. So now my I don't know. It's there's people that I'm on their side for this reunion, but at the same time I'm gonna have to play devil's advocate in some situations, or I'm gonna have to actually like call them out on some stuff because I don't know. It's just really messy. This whole reunion situation. It's just messy. That's overall just what it is. It's just messy. Okay. Um. mm, It's really messy vibes overall, in my opinion. With this whole reunion part one, because like I said, the editing is trash. Because there's no reason that it should have been just 30 minutes of the dressing room drama. And like it's even the same thing with my Bad Boys review, this recent episode, y'all will see that like it just it's just overall weak editing. That's what it is at the end of the day. It's just weak. It just makes it hard to focus actually on what's at hand. Because after a while you just lose interest. You're just sitting there, you're just hearing a whole lot of rah-rah, and it's like, haven't we been on this for like the past 20 minutes? Like we need to wrap this up. Like, come on. So I don't know. That's why we be having all those episodes. Like, it'd be one thing if we had those amount of episodes because they filmed that much actually. But it's like they're making up for a lack of footage through just dragging the episodes out. And it's like painfully obvious now. And I don't know, it's just not good overall. It's just not good. Hopefully they get better about this eventually, but I don't know. I'm just hoping they get better about it because it's really distracting me from like the actual content at this point because it's like, you know, if they just trimmed it down a bit, we would be good. Like, and another thing, I don't want to see Jocelyn perform. I don't want to see Jocelyn perform. Call me a hater, but I just really don't want to see Jocelyn perform. And the thing is, like I said, I was fine with the Vegas performance. That was fine with me for the intro. But other than that, I'd rather not see Jocelyn perform. Once we got that over with, that should have been it for Jocelyn's performing. I really don't want to see her perform. Like, I'm sorry. No, I don't. Like, I'd rather not go every single reunion with Jocelyn's performances shoved down my throat. We get that enough during the season. Okay? We get that enough. Like, give it a rest, please. And plus it's not even a live performance. Like, I don't know. I'm not gonna go off on the whole tangent again, but I'm just like, I'd rather not have Jocelyn Hernandez's performance shoved down my throat every single reunion. We get it. You're a performer. We get it. That's like the whole point of this show. But let's not. Let's not. You really put two performances in this episode. Other than that, though, I really don't have anything else. Let me know what y'all think though about this first part of the reunion in the comments. Let me know any thoughts you had or something I may have missed. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't have anything else. This was, I don't know, guys. This is gonna be kind of, I don't know. All I know is if they're gonna actually show that ballistic situation, that's gonna be wild. That's gonna be wild. Like, cause I remember a time you couldn't even show stuff like that. Like the whole remember, I know y'all remember in like on Jersey Shore when that whole incident happened where Snooki got hit by some guy at the bar. They blacked that stuff out when it happened on TV. So I don't know what they're gonna do, but I don't know. They're at this point. I think they're gonna show it because they already showed on like the trailers and stuff like that. They already showed ballistic. Basically having her by her hair. Like it took me a while, and it took like the slowed down video for me to realize what was going on. But I finally saw it, and I was like, I don't know, Zeus Network, y'all. Y'all might lose this lawsuit. I don't know. Ballistic, you're definitely gonna lose, but I don't know. We'll see what they do, but I don't know. That's just wild to me if they're gonna actually show that situation to its full extent. But that's all for me for now. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.